Welcome to week number 2 of building a Lego castle mock. Obviously last time we built up all this whole entire green base plate section, fully finished with all of the Wolfpack minifigures there. Since then we have had a few Lego parts come in, and we had a few haul videos that I did, and also made a few mocks. So we have a whole bunch of parts to finish off more trees now, and also a whole bunch of different parts like this that consist of olive green and just other parts I don't actually have in my collection. Not really sure how many of those are going to be used for this current mock, but for future mocks, I would like to do a whole entire olive green mock, so keep a lookout for that in the future. But if you guys are liking what you see so far, make sure you guys head down below, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. The goal is 1,500 by the end of March. And now we're just going to take a look at a few little mock-up pictures I did in Minecraft like I did last week, just to show you guys what we're going to be trying to build today. So as you can see here, we're going to finish off the little forest area over here. We're going to kind of just round it off. Then we're going to put a little pen area in the middle to either house some sheep or chickens. I haven't decided fully yet, but I'm leaning towards sheep. And then we're also going to do a rock face on the one side to begin up, where we're going to have a few of the little castle battlement areas at. So if you guys are excited for that, stick around because we're going to get into some building right now. So I figured for this stuff it'd be easier just to get it done off camera. So I'm going to go ahead real fast and build up all the little grass area of this hill. And then we'll come back and we'll do some time lapses of the builds of the fence and all the other great stuff around here. Okay, so I got the base area of all the grass kind of all set up. It matches up very, very nicely with the other base plate that we did last week. You guys will see that later on in this video. And then I also started planning out a few of the tree areas, but we don't have enough of these trees made. And like I said, I did get a whole bunch of pick-a-brick orders in, and including in that was a whole bunch of these leaf pieces for more trees. So I think right now we're going to go ahead and build up some more of these olive green tiny trees. We already have one here. I think we're going to do one there and one there, so we'll get 2 more done and build those guys up. So let's do a time lapse of that right now. Alright, so I added a few more trees in here. Our final number on this little part of the mock is going to be 5. I think it blends in super well with the other mock base plate here. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, but first I want to add in all the foliage parts. So I'm going to go ahead and do all that, and I'll catch you guys when I'm done with that. Just like that, the whole entire back section of this area is now fully covered off with all these brand new trees added in, and it gives the Wolfpack a ton more privacy from other people in this area, leaving them to be not found out by any of the knights. And coming over on this side, you guys can see just how many more trees I added in. Like I said, it was 5 more. And then also you can see some of the detail that I was able to add with all the grass, flowers, bushes, and the tiny pine trees. Now I think we're going to work on trying to get a little pen in here like I talked about before. I forgot I had these guys, so I think we're going to use some cows instead of the sheep that I talked about originally. So I have 2 cows we're going to end up using. But yeah, let's figure out a fence design right now. Alright guys, so I said we're going to figure out a fence build, so I've done that. This fence build is very, very simple, but it does a very effective job of looking very good. I like that you can see the little gap there, and it overall just looks very, very nice. This can be placed at angles or on just a regular grid system. So we're going to place some of these down and get a good idea of where we want this actual fence to be for these 2 cows. So I got a really good solid layout done here with a little bit of a gate here at the front to be able to open up for any farmers or anything that's going to come in and check on these cows. But as you guys can see, I don't like how much it's just all green. I'd really like to make this whole entire area for where the fence is going to be all dark tan. So doing that would mean that I'd have to pull everything up and then fill all it in. But I'm going to work on that. I'm also probably not going to do that in a time lapse either, just because it would be a long time lapse. But I'm going to try to make the ground look really, really cool and just make it all dark tan. And then also be able to have a little bit more options to be able to pose these cows in there too. So I'm going to go get started on that, and I'll check back in with you guys when I either have some progress or when I'm done with that. Alright, so I have all the whole entire cow pen kind of all done here. Looks very, very nice. I just rounded it off nicely with a few of the tiles and stuff in dark tan. And also used a lot of wedge plates throughout the outside to add some more just overall detail and angles to get it to be looking like a lot more of a better build. I'm obviously going to have to add in some grass around here. I added a little pine tree here. But yeah, both those cows fit in there nicely. I added some clumps of dirt in there as well, just to show they are moving around. There's a few tiles in there too. But I wanted to ask you guys if you have any good ways or ideas of how to make like little wheat or something. I want to add like a little wheat trough in here. So let me know down below in the comment section if you guys have any good ideas of how to do that. But yeah, I'd also maybe like to add a water trough in there too. We'll see. But I'm probably going to have like a little setup here for like a farmer to be able to have a few things held over here in like barrels or something. And then obviously we've got to finish up the path here and going out into the next module. So we have to do that next. So let's hit that up right now with a time lapse. This probably looks a little bit different from where we left off in the time lapse, but I did move a few things around. One, I wanted to add in this little like food trough over here, and I might actually take out another patch of these little dirt of the dark tan stuff and make that a water trough too, because I do have a second barrel that I could use to make a water trough. As for this though, I really like how it is turning out. I really enjoy all the detail around the outside and everything like that. Up front here, we added a little area for all the waste of the cows, another barrel for all that, as well as a little bag there, a bird, and then another like a little table or something. As soon as I find a lantern piece in my collection, I'm going to put a lantern there, or I'll put a torch there instead. But hopefully a lantern if I can find one. I also found this bird that I actually had from the D&D CMF, so I grabbed that one just because it's a different one. So put him up there too. But yeah, I really like how that all turned out. The path looks great that we just did in that time lapse. Just the same type of design as I did for the last week's episode. But I think it works well in here again, and this is obviously going to continue into the next module and back to the other module to all make one coherent path. But yeah, then only thing we really have left here is to make a little bit of a rock formation. That's why I left this all blank without grass, just because we're going to start a little rock, and that will continue into the next section. And then from there, we'll build up a little bit of a battlement for a castle. So, liking so far what I see here. I hope you guys are as well. And yeah, I'm going to go work on the rock, and I'll check back in with you guys when I have something done with that. Alright, the rock is now built up on this side, and this is going to continue into the next module, so I know this may not look the best now, but trust me, as this rock progresses on, it will look better. I do think overall, though, I do like the look of it. I like how the little bit of the olive green grass I was able to get in there does look good. As you can see here, we mixed a few things around and added a little water trough in there, the hay trough, different type of bird, and a few other barrels around here. Added our farmer back in and a few more grass pieces around the rock. And just like that, we have a completed module for this week. Now, this does end up wrapping up all of the building, but it does not end up wrapping up the video, because I want to do a little bit of a storytelling for this build. So we're going to hit into that storytelling time right now. As this poor farmer walks out into the countryside to tend to his cattle like he does every day and do the same old tasks, as he leaves that night, little does he know that brewing next to him is a bandit wolf pack camp. This camp has now just received more and more members, and 5 more have just strolled in upon that camp. The 2 leaders have now got in together and agreed to take care of all the knights in the region and attack the village. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy the little bit of the storytelling there at the end and the video overall. Obviously, this wasn't supposed to come out this late, but it finally is coming out, so I'm just glad to have it out for you guys. I don't exactly know when week 3 is going to be out, hopefully within a week, but no promises. I'm loving the mock so far. I think this is probably one of the best things I've ever done. I don't know if I'm going to do the module next over there and get that started and continue the rock work, or if I'm going to go do this area over here and do the cool little part of the village I want to do for the wolf pack to be attacking. But we'll see next time. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you guys head down below, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. The goal is still 1,500 by the end of March. And with that, I will see you guys all in my next video.